Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Crypto TV Plus. Every Monday morning, Crypto TV Plus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain show, only on Crypto TV Plus.
Are you there? It's your boy. No, sorry, it's your daddy, Mr. Macaroni. Keep watching Crypto TV Plus if you want to be doing well, especially. You get me now? Alright, you're doing well.
Hello and welcome to the program. This is Inside Blockchain Live on Crypto TV Plus. My name is Faith Ekwari. It's another Monday morning. These are the headlines. Web3 payment solution PIP button launches on Binance. Korean police to accept crypto. Web3 ladies partners with Polygon for a mentorship program. If this is your first time on the show, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Crypto TV Plus. Click on the bell icon to stay updated whenever we release a new video. Now the story in full. Web3 payment solution PIP announces the launch of its services in the Binance ecosystem. The latest move will see the PIP extension platform support BNB and BUSD stable-based coined transactions for the Binance Smart Chain BSC users. This aims to help BSC users bridge the Web3 ecosystem and connect easily to various social media platforms, allowing users to easily transact and monetize their content. In addition, the PIP button payment solution aims to transform the content creator economy by offering a faster and more efficient payment system by integrating major blockchains. Moving on, the Gompo police station is attracting attention by introducing a new method of collecting arrears and negligence fines suitable for the intact era in a situation where face-to-face collection activities are difficult due to COVID-19. Gompo C was selected as a virtual asset seizure pilot project promoted by the National Police Agency from this year and analyzed the status of virtual currency holdings by exchanges for those who habitually have over 1 million won. And also, Web3 Ladies, the largest Web3 community for ladies in Africa, announces a new partnership with one of the leading blockchain technology companies, Polygon. The community shared the news across their various handles and further explained that with Polygon coming on board as one of the major sponsors for Cohort 3 of the mentorship program, Web3 Ladies will be offered quality training and help mentor more ladies into Web3, taking a huge step forward from the 350 ladies mentored so far in the cohort 1 and 2. Now, speaking on the partnership, Enebeli Oluchi, founder of Web3 Ladies, said Web3 Ladies is always excited about building relationships that can potentially impact her community of highly enthusiastic females in the Web3 space, which is why we launched the Web3 Ladies Mentorship Program. And this partnership presents an opportunity for our Cohort 3 mentees to have access to high quality training and mentorships which will provide leaders in the Web3 space. Now let's go on a quick break. When we come back, I'll be introducing my guests and the frontline topic for our discussion today. Stay with us, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back.
Welcome to the weekly news recap here on Crypto TV Plus. If you missed out on the latest news this week, here are the highlights. Shark Tank star Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and Voyager Digital CEO Stephen Ehrlich are sued for allegedly promoting Voyager Digital's crypto products, which the plaintiffs claim was a massive Ponzi scheme. Kenya becomes the first country in Africa to approve coding, a subject of study within the official curricula for the primary and secondary schools. BlueBenX customers were surprised to discover that they could no longer withdraw the money deposited on the platform that promised to deliver higher returns by investing in cryptocurrencies. The US government sanctioned the Tornado Cash crypto mixer this week, making it illegal for Americans to use the service. Coinage Media's Zach Guzman tweeted a teaser trailer of an interview with Do Kwon in the wake of Terra Luna's downfall. Companies on Australian Securities Exchange ASX could be able to trade tokenized bonds, equities, funds, or carbon credits.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. The Web3 space has been seeing increasing growth over the past 1 year. Data shows that the industry has grown 75% from the year 2021 till now. Exploring some of the niches such as DeFi, NFTs, Metaverse, GameFi, we see innovative solutions built. And despite the raging negative price actions across board, the collapse of the Argo stablecoin, USD, the troubles with Celsius, Voyager, 3 Arrow Capital, and not to forget the multiple protocol hacks, these innovations still continue to leverage on the Web3 space to build a more inclusive, user-friendly environment for both fun and function. In May, Polygon and Meta collaborated to release NFTs on Instagram. That is one among the many other major collaborations we have seen so far. But why has it been so hard to onboard users from Web 2 to Web 3? What does the Web 3 has to offer that we have not seen before? How can we harness the potential in this space? All these and more we'll be discussing on today's episode. We'll be centering our discussion around understanding and leveraging on Web 3 and the NFTs in building the future of blockchain in Africa. Now, to shed light on the discussion of today is Nigeria's blockchain engineer, who is also the co-founder of Crevatal, a user experience design and development company, and the founder of Web3 Ladies, Oluchi Enebeli. It's good to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
I hope I got your surname right.
Yeah, that's fine. Enebeli.
Enebeli. All right. So first of all, let's talk about the partnership with Polygon. That is a huge milestone for Web3 Ladies and a big achievement for Web3 Ladies. So talk to me about the initiative behind it. What was the reason for the partnership? What's the initiative behind it?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Web3 Ladies is one of the largest African community of ladies trying to onboard more ladies into the blockchain space. And we have a mission to onboard over 100,000 ladies in the next 3 years to Web3. It's been a series of mentorship, event, and community. Those are like the three major way we make impact, right, to these ladies. And we started our mentorship in 2021, and we've done 2 cohorts so far, and we are currently in the 3rd cohort. So the goal for us was majorly to expand our mentorship, because we don't think that getting people into Web3, we don't think events alone, right, is sufficient enough to get ladies into Web3. So one of our ideas is to enable ladies with the technicality that they need to thrive in the space as we're trying to onboard them into the space, so that when you're onboarded into Web3 as a lady, you're more equipped to, go after opportunities and get yourself settled into the space. And that's the main goal for our mentorship. That's exactly where Polygon comes in, right? Our partnership with Polygon is enabling us expand our mentorship reach. So far, we've been able to train over 350 participants in our last 2 cohorts, and we really actually wanted to expand that number, more like multiply that number and get more ladies interested, because we've got a lot of interest from different ladies in Web 2 and then outside of tech, right? They're looking for ways to come into Web 3. Our partnership with Polygon made it possible for us to onboard over 800 ladies in our current cohort 3 mentorship, which is massive compared to what we had before. And so far we've grown so much in size. We're about 13,000 plus members across different platforms, our Slack community, our Twitter, and Instagram community collectively. And this is a massive number. And major delivery or major value that we offer is mentorship, right? So it was very important for us to scale our delivery, get more mentors, more qualified mentors on board. And that's where Polygon came in to make that a possibility. Because of the mentorship, we're able to scale up our numbers, get more qualified mentors to train these ladies, and even improve our mentorship process in whole. Polygon is also offering us some qualified workshop mentors to come give our ladies more, in-depth and expansive knowledge in the space, right? So these workshop mentors from Polygon are people that are experts in the space. They've spent like years just building solutions at scale, right, in the blockchain space. And we are having those ladies available, those mentors available to train our ladies in the workshops. Apart from that, Polygon is rising to be one of the, I think, second largest smart contracts blockchain ecosystem, right, apart from Ethereum. And it's interesting for us to get our ladies learning more about the technology, learning more about how to build on Polygon, knowing exactly what the Polygon blockchain entails, how it differs from other blockchain. And there are a lot of opportunities that exist within Polygon, right? Simply because Polygon's unique offering is to, serve as a layer 2 solution to Ethereum and, help Ethereum scale, right, in terms of like number of transactions they can perform, as well as, the speed in performing each transaction. Not to talk about the cost, right, of some transactions in Polygon, right? So it means that a lot of products and projects and dApps are now beginning to come into Polygon to build on the blockchain, especially because, you could just easily port your application from Ethereum to Polygon with little hassle, right? So we're seeing a lot of traction in the Polygon ecosystem, which is building and which is making room for a lot of opportunities, right? And then getting our ladies technically equipped in this ecosystem, it makes them readily available for job, and being able to seize a lot of these opportunities that's currently brewing in the space. So I think in a summary, the partnership with Polygon is majorly to help us scale our mentorship to more ladies, delivering more quality trainings.
Personally, I feel this is a big move, and it takes a lot of passion and a lot of drive, to see you move to this certain level, because you keep talking about mentoring, I'm onboarding women to come into the tech space, into the Web3 space. And I know it takes a lot of, a lot of resources and a lot of, time to do this. And that's where I'm moving to my next question. From Web3 Ladies Cohort 1 and 2, you have moved to hosting Twitter Spaces. I saw it on your Twitter community handle. And in educating and supporting ladies to transition into the Web3, and then to partnering in one of the biggest blockchain technology companies, which you just talked about. What are some of the challenges you have faced as an individual and a woman in the crypto space?
Thank you so much for that. Just talking about how I got started into in the blockchain space in general, and what even motivated me to start Web3 Ladies. I got into blockchain around 2017. I mean, when I got into blockchain, I was coming from a software engineering background, right? So it was like a normal course for me to, go into blockchain engineering, and that was what I transitioned into. But at that time, Ethereum just launched in 2015, right? And Ethereum was the first blockchain that ever introduced the concept of smart contract, right? Or the ability for us to just build applications that run on the blockchain, right? So at that time, it was resources were not really explanatory. It was tough to get like resources to help you really understand what the Web3 was all about, what distributed ledger technology was all about, and how building on the blockchain differs from, the regular software engineering process that we are used to, normal, building of applications and then deploying it to cloud. How does it really differ, right? So it was hard to like find these resources, and it made my transition like really it wasn't so smooth, right? But I was able to take advantage of meetups and hackathons, right? And just like meet different people to learn from them, right? So you can call it like a community, in quotes, which really actually helped me. But then, there was still like this struggle of trying to like understand or grasp the whole concept. And apart from that, going in my career in blockchain, there's been different challenges along the way. One of which is working most team that I've worked with. I'm normally like the only female blockchain engineer, or probably the second female, like two, either we're two female blockchain engineers or just one, right? So it's not very so this is not to say that some of these teams are like all-star even if you don't have ladies on the team. Some team you would enjoy them, like just working with like guys and the male colleague is very interesting, but then having other female on the team that really understands, like, sort of like speak the same language with you, and you can easily like brainstorm with, or think out a lot of things with. It's actually it makes working and learning very easy, right? And this is something that I really did not see. And then at some point on some team, you would get some kind of indirect there's some indirect way that you get treated, to show that this is like a man's field, right? And I mean, you're the only lady on the team. I don't want to just go I don't want to like really go into details, but yeah, there's been challenges around just finding other ladies in the space, to that resonate or that are in the same career path with you. And that was like one reason why I decided to start Web3 Ladies, because I was like, okay, do you know what? We can have more ladies in the blockchain space. One would argue that we've not been able to bridge the gender gap in Web 2, right? And regular tech, how are we able to do that with blockchain, a technology that is, it seems like it's a level further in terms of like advancement and complexity. But what I thought to myself is that if we're able to get more ladies into the space at this not so early stage, right, it means that more ladies will have the opportunity to grow with this technology. And the more you grow with the technology, the more you learn from different experiences and different stages of the technology as it matures, right? And that's an experience that we don't want to like take for granted. And that was the reason why I decided to start with 3 ladies, to pick more ladies into the space, right? To say, even if we're still struggling with bridging the gender gap in tech, if we're able to start early enough with blockchain, then it means that in the next 10, 20 years to come, right, we'll have a fair distribution of, gender in the space, right? Even if we couldn't get it early in tech, we can get it early in this new niche technology. And then that's majorly my motivation behind Web3 Ladies, and some just a bit of the challenges that I've faced, or I've come across just building the space.
Amazing, amazing. And I think in other sectors too, we have seen women, entry into different fields, making sure that they are able to impact and, show what they can do at every level. And that is what is bringing the beauty of equity to the system. Now, this leads us to the challenges in the Web3 space. Now, I know you have talked about the challenges you have faced as an individual and also as a woman. But these are the challenges in the Web3 space. Internally, we have scalability, security, regulation, and externally, we have misconception and misinformation about what blockchain, crypto, and Web3 is all about. So tell me, how do you address these challenges?
Okay. So also, I think I would like to add to that list. It's just general adoption of the technology. Is also like a challenge, and I would say user experience is one critical factor. I mean, that's that's one of the reasons why we decided to like set up Crevital to sort of like help see how we can tackle some of the user experience issue in the space. The technology, first of all, is a bit complex, right? I won't say it's like 100% complex and nobody can learn it or nobody can grasp it, but it's a bit complex. It's a bit different from what we are used to, right? And some applications in the space are not really making it easy for a lot of users to sort of like get on the technology and understand what is going on, right? So you'd ideally need to do a lot of research, right, to make sense of some application or make sense of some information that you see out there. And then there's also this problem of information overload for people that are trying to transition into the space. They don't know which exact materials or which exact information is right or is correct for them to use. So I think that there's some effort that needs to be done on some of the applications, especially like the financial applications. I think NFT and most NFTs application is a bit more easier to grabs, right? Because it's pictures and all of those stuff compared to like some financial applications like the DeFi applications, because you need to like have some background of finance, economics to be able to like tell what you're getting into, the kind of investment you're about to make, and if it's worth it or not. Or you need to like probably get somebody that is already maybe into the space and have some certain years of experience to sort of like explain some things to you before you get started. And I think that that's like a huge blocker and a huge barrier, because some people just sit out and just wait and just waiting for the technology to get like that simple for them to like come on board. And I think that's one place that works companies or founders of products can do better in the space. I think you also spoke about regulations, some of the issues. I mean, because being a decentralized technology, right, and the goal to, take out third party, right? You think that it's going to be very straightforward to use with no government regulation coming into play, but that's not so true. Like it's not like 100% decentralized, because for some applications or for some products that you need to build in some certain countries, you certainly need to deal with regulations. I know some parties are already looking into this, looking at how they could work around regulations to ensure that the technology can still be decentralized and distributed, even with some regulatory activities going on to sort of like make it that might make it seem as though it's a centralized, decentralized world, right? So that's I agree with that challenge. That's one challenge that the space has also seen. And I think one other challenge that that's normal. It's becoming a cliche, is the high cost of transaction, and then the issues of scalability, which I think is already being handled and it's already being fixed. Before the advent of Polygon and Binance Smart Contract chains and the likes, it used to be just Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you could see like how high gas performing the transaction could be, right? So imagine making a transaction to make a profit of like $100, and then you're spending close to like $100 or even 150 performing the transactions. But chains like Polygon and Binance Smart Chain are making that already easy, and I think it's already solving that problem. And then also with the rise of layer 2 solutions, right, to help scale Ethereum, which happens to be one of the major blockchains apart from like Bitcoin, are already in play, and is already helping to curb that issue. Issue of scalability. Ethereum is also already looking at launching the Ethereum 2.0 that's going to really cut down prices and transaction. I think if we see when all of this improvement, right, come into play, or the more we see these things come into play, I think the more the blockchain ecosystem will be usable. A lot of applications will be usable, and it will be easy to sort of like onboard more people into the space.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're just tuning in, this is Inside Blockchain, and we've talked a lot about partnership, Web3 Ladies partnership with Polygon. Some of the challenges I guess Oluchi has faced transitioning from being a blockchain engineer to finding a space, a niche for herself in the blockchain ecosystem, and some challenges in the Web3 space. We'll go on another break. When we come back, we'll be discussing more about the Web3, NFTs, and the future of blockchain in Africa. Don't go anywhere, stay with us, we'll be right back. Have you checked out this video on how to sell your NFTs in 5 minutes? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Your NFT might be the next on the radar, like Isekai Meta I'll be talking about today. Grab some popcorn, let's learn about another NFT. Isekai Meta is a story and community-driven, hand-drawn NFT collection plus metaverse brand that taps into the foundational human needs to connect with others through story. 7,770.
Don't get stuck in the past. Get all the latest news and happenings on blockchain and cryptocurrency only on Crypto TV Plus.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Boy of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Inside Blockchain. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Crypto TV Plus. We still have Oluchi in the house talking to us about Web3, NFTs, and the blockchain. It is nice having you here. Now, with some of the limitations in Africa, because we've talked about a lot of challenges that the Web3 space is facing right now, how can users leverage Polygon and other layer 1 and 2 blockchains in building standard Web3 products?
Thank you for that question. So, like I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you can't afford a blockchain such as Ethereum because of like the high transaction fee, always like direct them to like Polygon and Binance. Polygon most especially for the cheap transactions, right? Because you can easily build applications there, and the ecosystem is already growing, right? So because one of the things that people consider when trying to build an application on the space, right, in the space or on any blockchain, you're considering like the ecosystem around the blockchain. You're looking at the support system, right, in that blockchain. Are there a lot of people using this blockchain? Are there a lot of people believing in this blockchain? How decentralized is the blockchain, right? And then how much support can you get building on that blockchain? What are the possibilities of funding, right, that you can get from just building on that blockchain, right? So those are like the things that people consider when doing this, and these are all of the things that are available within the Polygon ecosystem that developers or founders can can benefit from or can leverage, right? For one, Polygon has, a funding system for supporting startups or products that are building on the Polygon ecosystem. There are also hackathons here and there, and then bounty systems being, hosted on Polygon, right? And I think the recent hackathon that Polygon is organizing, it's not just even capturing developers, but also opening its doors to designers, right? So everyone has everyone has a role to play in the ecosystem. You can build whatever you need to be. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a developer, right, to take advantage. So you could be a designer or whatever it is that you're pursuing, right? You can take advantage of the Polygon ecosystem with its grants and funds and bounty systems for startups and upcoming founders and developers and the likes. You could also take advantage of the community and the wide and increasing ecosystem. Some applications that you would see now on Ethereum, some major applications that you see on Ethereum right now are also available on Polygon, right? So you could use Uniswap, which is like the number one, decentralized exchange on Ethereum. You could also, it's also on Polygon, right? So you could use Uniswap on Ethereum. You could also use it on Polygon. And so the same thing applies to some other applications, right, that are already on Ethereum. They are all also available within the Polygon ecosystem. So the ecosystem is getting wide and it's getting large, right? So there are a lot that, startups and founders can benefit from. And you can easily scale your applications to thousands of users simply by building on Polygon, right? Because it's an easy it's easy for non-techie or non-crypto savvy users to onboard on this chain, and it's also easy for them to try out things, right, to explore. Because sometimes when you're trying to use an application for the first time, just learn about an application, you do not want to like put in so much of your money into the application, right? You want to explore, you want to test, right? People can easily do this with applications on Polygon because of like the really low fee. Spending less than a cent on a transaction like is a big win for a lot of people. People could argue that you could achieve the same thing on like testnet, but you can't really compare exploring or trying to use an application on testnet to doing it directly on mainnet. And this is like what Polygon affords developers or startup founders trying to like build in the space. And So because that's one of like the major goal for you to build your application, build your product, and being able to scale it to thousands and thousands of users all over the world, or just even in Africa, right? At large, right? So I think those are like founding those are like major things that Africans, startup founders and developers, and even designers, product managers, those are things that they could benefit in the space. And like I spoke earlier about Web3 ladies, and one of the things that's really exciting for us about the partnership with Polygon being that there is opportunity in the Web3 space in Polygon and the Polygon ecosystem for our ladies, right? This is also like available and open to like everyone, even Africans, right? So anybody could tap into these opportunities within the Polygon ecosystem, because like I said, the ecosystem is expanding, and a lot of product ideas, a lot of startups are coming up, right? Easily building on Polygon, right? And then these products need more skills, they need more developers, they need more designers, they need more marketers, they need more product managers, and I could list on and on, right? But skills and talents are needed, and you could easily, get anyone could easily take advantage of these opportunities and leverage the blockchain, right? Simply by learning a bit about, the Polygon ecosystem or the Polygon blockchain, and then how applications within the space really work. And the beautiful thing is that the knowledge of building on Polygon can be replicated across, any other chain, in case you want to like make your applications like you want to make it like usable across like different chains, provided that the chain is an EVM chain, right? It could also be like used on another chain. So those are like the three key things I think that Africans at large can really benefit from the Polygon ecosystem. Plus the fact that it's I mean it's open, and this is like one of the beautiful advantages of the blockchain, not just even Polygon, the open access to opportunities and network, right? Is an amazing, is an amazing feature of the blockchain that Africans, I think, benefit the most from it. Just giving to like our background, right? And just a couple of things happen in the country, a lot of centralized controls here and there that have hindered the youth from achieving a whole lot of things in the past, right? Blockchain has brought new level of accessibility to the world, right? Being able to like connect to anybody within and outside of Africa, scale your product to thousands of people, get feedback from like people over the world, right? So it's very easy to network with anybody within the Polygon ecosystem, get support or guidance on whatever you're building and scale at it.
Amazing, and it is no cliche if we say that blockchain technology has been able to give a lot of creators the platform to express their ideas, have access to a lot of opportunities. From Web 1, we saw the journey from Web 1, user only, and then to Web 2, we see users, could now engage, could now interact. And now we're seeing Web 3 giving users, full ownership of the data, of their content. And you have, mentioned a lot of opportunities, right from Polygon to Ethereum and to the blockchain technology space at large. Now, with these opportunities that the blockchain technology is offering, I'm talking from NFTs to GameFi to SocialFi to DeFi, why has it been so difficult to onboard new users from Web 2 to Web 3?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So like I mentioned earlier, one major blocker or hindrance to onboarding more users, you call it mass adoption of blockchain, is I would say the usability of such platforms, right, is one other thing that's causing just a big challenge, right? So just a minute, please. So a big challenge to adoption. Another reason you would say is just education, understanding of the technology, right? It's like I said, it's different from what people are normally used to, right? And even for regular Web2 applications, that there's some level of education that needs to be done. There's still a lot of resources out there just to help users even on board on some applications in Web2, right? So this is now Web3. So I think that one of the major hindrance is user experience, usability of the applications. Secondly is education, and I think education is already being worked on, because almost all blockchain applications that are out there, or even the chains themselves, the network themselves, there are a lot of educative, programs that are already they're already working on events, awareness program, just to bring more awareness to the people about the blockchain technology, what it has to offer, and how they can, onboard or get into the system, right? So I think for education, there's a lot of work being done there. I know it's not 100% there yet, but it's at some point, or it's at a level where you can see the results, right, of such educative program outreaches and then awareness. But I think that where more work still needs to be done is in the usability and the user experience of some of this product, because a product should be able to communicate its values, right, to the users, right? I shouldn't have to read up an encyclopedia of blockchain and crypto just to get a good enough understanding or idea of how to use the blockchain, the platform or the product, or how to benefit from it, right? So that's like the major issue. You could also attributes, the hindrance to getting more people into the space to just how fast the space is moving, right? So there are a lot of information here and there, a lot of applications coming out, a lot of products being released, and sometimes it's very hard for a newbie to find their footing, right, within the space. And then that's why different communities are being set up sort of to help users, just on board on some of these concepts or ideas within the blockchain ecosystem. For one, that's one reason as well, where that's one of the things that we also do with Web3 ladies, right, to ensure that ladies coming into the space can find a better path, like a more calm and relaxed path to transition into the space, because I think that it can get a bit crazy and rough to just for users to just jump into the space. You need to understand what the different aspects is offering, right? So you mentioned, there's GameFi, there's SocialFi, there is DeFi, right? There's NFT, there's Metaverse, right? So there's a lot to explore within the space, and there's a lot to learn on how to use the space. So I think if more applications can try to reduce the amount of learning that users will need to go through to just use the application, they can have more guides and resources on how to use those applications, right? I think it would be very helpful to really achieve mass adoption. I'm not even mentioning the scalability, because that's something that we've talked about, and that's something that it's a general issue within the space, but it's being worked on already. But yeah, those are three major things, and I think that if we are able to work on them, I think we'll be able to see such improvement. And it's not a work for the protocol engineers alone, or the blockchain network founders themselves, but also everyone within the ecosystem has a key role to play, be it in the community level or in the product level as a founder, or as a startup owner, or as a product manager, or even down to the protocol. So I think everyone has a part to play.
And seeing the complexities that come with blockchain education, the Web2, some of the apps on Web2, some of the platforms on Web2 have been able to get and understand user experience at the forefront to making sure that people can just make do with whatever is on the platform. And Web3, I think Web3 are trying to get on that level. Now, taking a cue from how Mark Zuckerberg transitioned from both Facebook and Instagram to Meta. Then we saw the collaboration between Polygon and Meta, and also your partnership. How vital do you think these collaborations and partnership will impact massive entry into the Web3 space? That's massive adoption, massive entry into the Web3 space.
Yeah, for one, I think partnering and sponsoring communities are one critical aspect or area of blockchain, right? So a blockchain cannot thrive without community. That's why it's very important to be community. It's very important to build an ecosystem around whatever product or project you're building in the space, or whatever network, right? And so if community plays a very critical role, it means that, enabling more community would greatly help, right, onboard a lot of people. Like I said, one thing that Web3 Ladies is doing is making it easy, right? Creating a campus, a path free of the pressure of just being in the space, right? And then the noise, trying to lessen the noise for newbies to sort of like find their footing in the space. Because if you're able to like transition into the space like that, right, then you'll be able to like dominate and use a lot of applications and benefit from the space, or even build more solutions into the space. But when it's hard for you to find your footing, then it's a problem, right? So I think that if community plays a major and a massive role in blockchain, then enabling more communities will help us onboard more people. Because when users are coming into the space, it's easy for them to onboard through a community, right? Especially educative. There are a lot of educative communities coming up right now, within the blockchain ecosystem itself, which is very, very instrumental to onboarding new people, be it marketers, designers, users, because eventually all of these persons, whether you are working in the Web3 space, you are also a user. Everybody is a user of one product or the other, either being employed or just trading in the space, right? So I think this is Polygon partnering in these slides is a massive one, right? To aid just adoption of the currency, because you really can't make sense of what you don't understand. And if you don't understand something, it's hard for you to see the value or to see how you can benefit or you can impact in such areas. So education is really important, awareness is really important, and that's what communities and organizations like this are bringing to the larger ecosystem, and in a way onboarding more and more users into the space.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, this has been an eye-opener for me, and I think for you too. Let's go on another break. When we come back, we'll be discussing further.
Mention 5 crypto exchanges you know.
Hey!
Ethereum, Tron.
They have Bitcoin, they have wallets, they have
Luna.
Crypto exchange.
USDT.
You're almost there.
Solana.
I be not be waiting to ask me with that. My brother, I just manage those. I be Ethereum, I be all the. My brother, manage those. I tell you.
Don't get stuck in the past. Get all the latest news and happenings on blockchain and cryptocurrency only on Crypto TV Plus.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in today. Now let's go straight to NFTs. We've talked a lot about Web3. Let's move to NFTs. Now, we have seen the hype around it. It has drawn a lot of attention, to the blockchain community. However, high gas fees, floor prices, fluctuations, spam NFTs, community hacks, and most importantly, lack of NFTs with real-world utilities, have surfaced. Now, these are some of the issues surrounding the NFT space. What are some structures or protocols you think should be put in place to regulate the NFT activities?
For regulation, I'm also sure can't really say so much about that, just because of the baseline of, I mean, what's blockchain essentially is being structured or created to do, decentralization, and all of that. But I think that what can be done to limit, especially the number of scamming NFT in the space, would be more enlightenment and more education, just to let people help people understand what NFTs are, and I think beyond even NFT, right? It's normal human nature to sort of like fall prey to stuff like that, right? I mean, we've seen even outside of the Web3, we've seen things like MMM, Ponzi schemes, and all of that stuff, and they are still like in existence, even with even with people losing funds and all of those stuff, right? They just come in different rebranded form, and people like fall prey to it, right? So I think that definitely more education can be done, and then of course that trusted platforms as well that users can default to using, right? Trusted communities that can default to just get some good knowledge of the NFT they are going into before buying, right? And then as well, doing some amount of research is very important before getting into anything or buying any NFT. I think those really would help, limit the number of scam, not probably reduce the number of scamming NFT, but it would limit the way people fall prey or react to such NFTs. And I think that there are also other NFTs that are actually solving real life or real use cases beyond just what we currently see. Because I mean, the NFT space has there's a lot of hype. I think the hype is even calm at this moment, right? So at the first, I mean, the early days of NFT, it was like really there's so much noise about NFT everywhere, and I'm sure a lot of people had jumped in, probably lost, and all of those stuff, right? So I still think that even with all of this, there are still like some NFT that are solving some use cases, and there's a potential for NFT to be very instrumental to like different areas or different aspects of our lives, such as ownership, just with finding how ownership is or how ownership is perceived, how it's distributed, and how it's accounted for, right? I think that's like major places where NFT comes into play. And then just even helping out in areas where areas that ties into, say, identity and reputation and ownership. Those are like key areas to that NFT can really play a major role, and I think some persons or some products are already working in those areas. So just in general, I think more education awareness can really help on that front.
Amazing. So in response to the high gas fees, because a lot of people are dreading buying, minting, and selling NFTs because of the high gas fees associated with it. So can you address that?
Yeah, so I think again it will be going back to the opportunities and the other alternatives, right, in the space. iGas fee is normally related to Ethereum, right? So NFTs on the Ethereum, being minted on the Ethereum platform, right? You could relate it to the iGas fee, but I mean there are NFTs on the Polygon blockchain. There are really easy to access, right? In terms of just gas, in terms of the gas fee, it's really low, right? So you could easily mint an NFT, even distribute to thousands of people, and the transaction fee could be within $1 to $2, right? So it also depends on choice, right? So I would say that all of these all of these NFTs are out there, all of these opportunities are out there. It's left for one to should I say cut according to your quotes. If it's if an NFT on a particular blockchain, say Ethereum, is expensive, I think people should try Polygon, and I think that's more product or project, around NFT, trying to create project or ideas or solutions around NFT should default to using cheaper chains, right, to push the NFT project. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the Polygon ecosystem is already, it's already growing, right, at a very impressive rate, right? So building or launching your NFT project there could get as much traction as it will get as well. So I think project founders and just project owners should put the masses into consideration, put users into consideration when coming up with a project idea and when choosing the chain to deploy such solutions to. I think that's what I have to say about that.
You just put my thoughts to words right now. The Web3 space is metamorphosing into something bigger than we can imagine. Now, what is your intuition on the growth of NFTs, GameFi, DeFi, SocialFi in the next, let's say, 3 years?
Yeah, so I think that definitely there's going to be massive growth, especially around NFT, because I feel like we've hardly scratched the surface of NFT yet. We've just been saying, and that's and it's very common with new, should I say, new discovery, right? Just see a lot of people trying to cash out quickly from the idea, from the concept, right, before the whole buzz dies down. But I believe that when it seems like the buzz is dying down, which is what it seems right now, there are products or projects that are actually building really important solution with the concept of NFT, right? I mean, there are other areas that NFTs could be applied to really affect human life, which is areas of ownership, right? Defining ownership, areas of reputation, just building a decentralized reputation. You could, and a lot of communities already, using NFTs on that front, right, for governance, right, to prove that you remember, and then your NFT is improving. Your NFT is improving with your reputation, right? So your NFT could represent your reputation in a particular community, in a particular stance, which is actually, important, because in a way it's almost like it works around, decentralized identity, decentralized reputation in a way, which is one of the issues that we've struggled with in the past, right? Ideas around ownership. I mean, most of the issues that we've seen in the world can be traced down to some idea of ownership. Who owns what? How can we prove that you own this? If you own it, you could see that in land, right? Even lands matter around Nigeria or even Africa at large. If you own this 10 years ago or 20 years or 15 generations ago, how can you prove that this is really yours? What's the history? And there are a lot of stuff that are going on. I think that these are areas that NFT can be really, really critical. And I know that there are some applications working on this, and I'm sure that in the next 2 to 3 years we'll begin to see all of this thing come into light. GameFi as well is already helping change the narrative and the direction for some people in terms of just even making some people financially stable just by playing game. And then there are different ways that that can also different directions that can also go as well. The metaverse, we've not even started, right? I mean, it's just concept and ideas here and there, and it's still being, worked on. So there's a lot of potential. I can't really say, to a large extent how explosive or what the massive change would be in the next 3 years, but I'm very definite that there's going to be a lot. Just around different ideas or concepts within the space, and how they can better be used to solve real tangible problem beyond just scams and making money.
Wow, it has been an amazing time having you here with us. So before you go, I know you've talked about some of the challenges you have faced as an individual and as a woman, trying to, relate with women in the space, trying to find women that could also, understand the language that you are speaking in the Web3 space. And it is obvious that there's a certain level of disproportional advantage given to men than women in the Web3 space. What would be your advice to women that want to build, young women that want to build innovative projects in the Web3 space?
I think I would say go for it. Be audacious, be confident. The space can feel overwhelming sometimes, and it can feel like you're out of place, right? It can be very challenging trying to build a product. Just start up something within the space. I think there is, the support for women is growing, but it's not 100%. It's not quite there yet, and that only, women makes like just I think 1 to 2% of current founders, right, in the space, right? So it might be a bit challenging, but I'd say that they should push. Just push. Nothing is impossible. Everything. Everything starts with a step, right? Just take a step in the right direction. And I also want to acknowledge that you put the user first, right? So most time when people build products in the Web3 space, I think users are like the last thing they're thinking of, right? So because if users is being thought of first, right, then we'll be able to create more usable or user-friendly applications. So I think that you should put that in mind, and then also pick the chain, right? So putting the user in mind will help with a couple of decisions, right? To make while trying to build your application or launch your project or product, right? Picking the right chain that would help users be able to benefit, right? Take advantage from those applications. And then lastly, join a community, be a part of a community. Communities are very essential and they're critical. They are a major parts of the blockchain, right? So a product or a project cannot exist without a community. This is unlike in Web 2, but in Web 3, communities are essential, right? A network, you need to create network effects around your product and project. So I think I'd say lastly, join a community, be a part of a community, either as a contributor or as an active member, right? These are ways that you could learn from even other founders or other ladies who are in the same or higher skill level or stage in the Web3 ecosystem that can really be of help or and of support to you. All right. So those I think that's it. Those are like major advice I would want to give to any lady out there.
Thank you so much, Oluchi, for joining in today. We had a blast with you here, and I hope that Web3 ladies, get more ladies onboarded on the Web3 space. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. And that will be all on today's program. You can get more market updates and all the happenings captured within the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency on our website, cryptotvplus.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Crypto TV Plus to get daily info on all our programs. Thank you for staying with us. I am Faith Ekwari. I had Oluchi and Nebeli in the studio today. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.